Hey, this is Amber from Lumos Layouts, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a Sunvector or a background for a Preppy sign. So basically, this over here is just one of the pre-made vectors I have on my website, and this one took me probably a few minutes to make. They're pretty easy to make and they look really good too. So in this tutorial I'll be using this color scheme and a few different patterns. Most of these patterns that I'm going to use can be found on my website, and you can use any patterns you want and any colors you want. But to start out, you're just going to select the magic wand tool and make sure that you're on background, and just select every third black stripe. So go ahead and start clicking. To select more than one, you can hold down Shift, and that selects more than one. Once you have every third stripe selected, go ahead and make a new layer on top of background. And in this, you want to select your selection tool and just right click and fill. The color can be anything you want. Just use white for now because we're going to edit it anyway. So after you've selected that, go ahead and deselect it. And then come over here to layer, well, it would be your layer 1. But come over here and just double click it to open blending options. And for this one, you want to add drop shadow, color, and pattern overlay. And actually stroke too. Got a lot of things going on this. So for stroke, you want to set your pixels to 1 width and change the fill type to pattern. And this pattern is going to be listed under this tutorial for you to use. And it's just these really thin pinstripes. You want to go ahead and select that. And then on pattern overlay, select the pattern that you want for your first couple of stripes. I'm going to do these peace signs. For color overlay, select the first color you want. I'm going to go ahead and choose this purple. Click OK. And then set your opacity down. I'm going to set mine at about 85. And then go to drop shadow and change the distance to 0. And then hit OK. And that's all. Just close that because you're going to have a lot of layers and you don't want that taking up too much space, so just press this area to close it, and then come back to background, and come back over here and get your magic wand tool again, and select every one that's beside the purple. You want to make another new layer above background. Go back to your selection tool, right click, fill, make it white, because it doesn't really matter because you're going to change the color anyway. Double click that layer to open blending options and do the same selections: drop shadow, color overlay, pattern overlay, and stroke. On stroke you want to do the exact same thing. Width is 1 and select the same thin pinstripe pattern that we had before. Once you have that, go up to pattern and select a different pattern, like different than the one that you chose in the first one. So I'm going to choose, probably going to choose this leopard print. And then go to color overlay, select your second color, and change the opacity. Change the opacity down to maybe 84. Then change your drop shadow, distance to 0, and hit OK. And basically, you just want to keep doing this for the black lines. All of the black lines are going to have the same stroke and the same drop shadow. They're just different patterns and colors. So for the last black couple of lines, you want to go ahead and go back to background and back to your magic wand tool and just select all of those. Once you have all those selected, make yet another layer on top of background. Go back to your selection tool, right click, fill, make it white, and then for this one I'm going to show you the quick way to do it. Just go up to one of these two layers that we just did, right click, copy layer style, and then on the layer that you just made, right click, paste layer style. And that's going to make it the same color and the same pattern, but you just want to double click on it and you can change your pattern. I'm going to change mine to this and change your color. to your third color and hit OK. And now we have the white background here. We want to change that and make it something different. So go back to background again, and for this, you pretty much just want to take more of these. You're going to do every other white one all the way around. So go ahead and go to your magic wand tool and start selecting every other white one. Once you have every other white one selected, just go ahead and make another new layer. Make sure it's underneath all three of the layers that you just made. And once you have it, go ahead and go up to your selection tool and fill it with white again. Deselect it, and then double click on that layer. What you want to do for this one, you don't want to worry about drop shadow or stroke, but you do want to do pattern overlay, and for this one, do gradient overlay. So now that you've done that, go ahead and make a gradient for your color scheme if you don't already have one. Once you have the gradient that you want to use, just go ahead and leave the angle at 90, then go over to pattern. Select a pattern you want. I'm going to use these zebra stripes, and then take your gradient opacity down. Take mine down to about 79 and hit OK once you're happy with it. Then go and you want to go back to background, go back to your magic wand tool, and get every white one that you missed, well, that you didn't get the first time. And once you have it, go ahead and make another layer. Make sure it's underneath the top three, and go back to your selection tool, fill, white again, and just deselect it. Double click that layer, go ahead and do gradient overlay and pattern overlay again. For gradient overlay, I didn't save it. You want to go ahead and use the gradient that you just used, and you want to change the angle down here to 90, so it's going the opposite way of the other one, and change your pattern overlay to a completely different pattern. Do these circles, and once you have it the way you want it, just hit OK. And basically, that's it. You can do a few different things on these bottom layers underneath. You don't have to do the gradient. You can keep going if you have a larger color scheme, but since I only had 3 colors in mine, I tried to do just the gradient so that way I got color everywhere. You can do a bunch of different patterns and a bunch of different colors, but pretty much that's a simple way to do it, and I hope this helps.